This video is brought to you by Hit Point Press and their Big Bad Booklet series, and by the Roll for Combat Actual Play podcast and their 3-Ring Adventure series. Hello and welcome back to The Gallant Goblin. Today I'm really happy to share with you the next wave of premium figures for D&D from WizKids, and many thanks to them for sending them to us to review with you. These are some of my favorite minis because they take the awesome sculpts from the Nolzur's Unpainted line and they combine them with that top quality paint job, giving you a PC or NPC mini that just looks awesome and is just ready to hit the table right out of the box. Each wave usually includes several classic options like human fighters or elf rangers, and then a couple of more interesting options for those of you who like to venture off the beaten path like I do. But this set, almost every figure has something that makes it special. There are 10 figures in total, so let's open them up and take a closer look. Let's begin with probably our most iconic looking D&D character, the Dwarf Fighter. And of course you can use this mini for any number of heavily armored melee classes, but take a look at him. This may be one of the best dwarf minis I've seen. It's really nicely detailed, with a dynamic pose and a great paint job. Even if my adventuring party doesn't include a dwarf, I'm gonna have to find a way to add this fella in as maybe just an NPC just to use this mini. Next we have our elf fighter with his white hair and his flaming sword. He even has a little Vulcan salute going on with his offhand. If you have an elf melee character in your game and you want to hook him up with a flaming sword, check out the flame tongue swords in the basic rules. This rare magical weapon can be a greatsword, a longsword, a rapier, a scimitar, or a short sword, and that's just one of several types of flaming swords in the game. Our next classic character is the Elf Druid, here holding one of the cooler staves I've ever seen on a mini, and getting ready to unleash a magical effect from his palm. We again get a very dynamic in-action pose, as you can see his robes and his cloak just swirling around his body. And of course, this figure could easily be used for any caster class, and there's nothing particularly making him an elf either, so if you wanted to, you could have him representing a human or a half-elf. Our next figure is maybe the last, shall we say, standard figure in the set. This human wizard appears to be casting Mordenkainen's sword or another similar type of spell. In his backhand, he's either holding a little throwing dagger or perhaps the little miniature sword that he's used as a component in his spell, which is a really cool little attention to detail. The beard and angry-looking arched eyebrows make this fellow look like a villain to me, so I might use him for a particular spell-slinging bad guy in one of my own personal ongoing campaigns. Lately, we've been getting at least one figure per set that looks like it would be at home in an Eberron campaign. This time, we get the human ranger with goggles pulled up on her forehead and a crossbow ready to fire. She's another figure who looks like she'd be right at home on an airship, standing on deck, looking for airborne threats. One of the absolutely coolest minis in this set is this human rogue. First of all, it's awesome to get more minis that are women of color. We definitely need more of them. Next, she's got an incredible pose with her scimitar dripping with arcane magic and her curved dagger at the ready. This set has a lot of really cool, great combat poses, and this one is probably my favorite. Plus, she's painted up really well and has a lot of detail on her clothing. And we get another person of color, this time a wizard casting Burning Hands. Of course, with that spell, this figure could also be a sorcerer or even a Circle of Wildfire druid, which was introduced in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Though with the spellbook attached at the waist, wizard probably makes the most sense. With the figure's longer hair, I think you could easily use this figure for any gender. Another really cool and detailed mini. Now we're moving on to our minor races, starting with our little gnome wizard, spellbook in hand, hurling out a fireball from his other hand. One cool detail is the arcane runes sewn into his coat. I'll take this moment to mention that, as always, these figures come with a little bit of terrain underfoot that will make them stand out a little from your other Icons of the Realms minis. They all come packaged with separate black bases that you need to attach them to, and in the case of our gnome wizard here, you get a small base as it fits his race. Our other small figure is the Halfling Fighter with his or her ruby-studded helm and blood-covered two-handed war axe. You don't see too many strength-based Halfling fighters due to the fact that the Halflings traditionally get an ability score increase in dexterity, but Tasha's Cauldron of Everything decoupled those ability score increases from your choice of race, which really throws open the doors to character customization in the same way that Pathfinder 2nd Edition did. So if you want a strength-based Halfling fighter, now's your chance, my friend. Finally, we have our biggest mini in this wave, the Goliath Barbarian. This particular barbarian may be following the path of the Storm Herald with a sea aura that inflicts lightning damage on her foes. The path of the Storm Herald is detailed in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. The white eyes seem like a good depiction of rage as well to me. This is just a great mini to live out all your She-Ra fantasies. The premium sets here are a great place to find the perfect figure for your PC or special NPC. If you're getting ready to create a character in a game, one fun way to get inspiration is to go to your local game store and peruse the wall of minis to see if any catch your eye. Then craft your character and their story on the mini. Just don't accidentally bring home a Warhammer Space Marine and expect your GM to incorporate it into their story. Each figure is sold separately for $7.99 or less depending on where you shop. They're expected to hit store shelves on February 17th, so put in your pre-orders now at your local game store if any of them caught your eye. And of course, right on schedule, the next wave of figures was just announced for May, and it's really bringing some of those minor races to the table, so I'm really excited. Here's what we're looking at. A Water Genasi Druid, a Fire Genasi Wizard, a Tabaxi Rogue, a Dwarf Cleric, a Tiefling Rogue, a Halfling Fighter, a Human Cleric and a Human Monk, and an Elf Wizard and Rogue. They've definitely chosen some of my favorite Nolzur's minis for the next wave, so let me know what you think of all of these in the comment section down below. Let me take a moment to thank our sponsors. First, Hit Point Press and their Big Bad Booklet series. You know how much I love these. When you subscribe, you'll get a little packet in the mail each month with the new Big Bad Booklet wrapped up like a comic book, and a series of reference cards that you can use in all your games, and even a piece of art depicting that month's Big Bad. You can use the booklet to run your group through a one-shot or mini-campaign, and each booklet has a different tone. Some are scary, some are high concept and serious, and some are just kind of silly, but they're all creative and fun and should give your group something to remember for years to come. This month, come meet Valai Axel, an ancient writhing sea monster devoted to the thrill of the hunt. Will you stop this eldritch being or be lured by Valai Axel to the depths? Learn more and subscribe today at BigBadBooklet.com. Next, we have the Roll for Combat Actual Play Podcast and their 3-ring adventure series. I want to sit here and chat with you, all of you, about this latest episode, but I know, I don't really know where you are in their various shows, so if you're looking to hop on board, the 3-ring adventure is a really fantastic playthrough of the Extinction Curse Adventure Path. They started Season 2 recently, which is Book 2 of the adventure, and it's actually a good place to jump on board if you want to kind of skip ahead so you can chat about the episode with the rest of us. Or they have the Agents of Edgewatch podcast with a different group of players. They're still in Season 1 of that show, so it's not a huge number of episodes to get caught up on. That's the one I'm listening to right now. And when you get caught up, come join me on their Discord server to talk about it. Just tag me in the chat there and I'll swing by. And you can find all their shows and a link to their Discord server at rollforcombat.com. And thank you for watching today. We're still getting the engines running here in our new house. I need to take a stab at editing these episodes, so you may notice a few changes in how our videos look in the coming weeks as I take the ropes and give Grady a break to work on his writing. Speaking of writing, we have some fun new projects coming up there as well, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed the video today, remember to subscribe and like the video if you want to give us a hand. And you can always find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For now, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.